Good morning, Patrick here. Yeah, it is snowing. It is snowing crazy here in southeastern Michigan. Um, yeah, we are getting pounded. They're saying that we might get between 2 to 5 inches of snow. I definitely think it's already past the 2 inch mark, and it's still coming down pretty good. Hi, Sue. How are you? How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. This is one of our pop-ups that we usually do. We pop it up. I'm going to be working as we talk. We know how that goes. Tonight we have Jamie Hill will be with us on Eight Questions with, along with the cast and crew of Sea of Madness tomorrow night, and we have the mighty Mike Ferguson in on Thursday. It's gonna be a hell of a week, that's for sure. So, what I'm doing now is basically bringing up my show for Jamie, and then we're gonna go out there and push it a little bit. Um, yeah, always fun, always fun. Um, Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Um, having a great week. Let's see. It looks like my head's cut off, isn't it? Let's see. So, yes, tonight we are talking with Jamie Hill. She is an actress, and she appeared, and she will be appearing in. She's appeared in Grotesque 1 and 2. Um, she also appeared in one of the most interesting movies of last year. Definitely a very decisive movie. Um, because a lot of people loved it, and a lot of people did not. Um, of course, we're talking about Skinner Moranik that came out on Bayview Entertainment IFC Midnight, and very very cool. I felt it was a very cool movie. I know a lot of people did not. I happen to think so. I think it's really neat. Uh, so Jamie does not only does she does regular acting, like in front of the camera, but she's also a very well respected voice actor as well. And so we'll be talking to her about both sides of the being both a voice actor and in front of the camera. She's done some fun movies too. She's done besides Skinner Moretic, she's also done Grotesque and I'm Haunted, which we covered when we talked to Elizabeth Chamberlain. But she also will be making appearances in both of the sequels, Grotesques 2 and I'm Haunted 2. Uh, I'm really interested in see what happens in I'm Haunted 2. I'm really, it's like that's going to be interesting. Uh, she also has upcoming movies called Horror Show, Unseen, and one movie in post production called Deployment. So it's going to be very interesting to um, see how. And she does it all in a small town. We talked when we talked to Elizabeth Chamberlain. Edmonton is not that big of a town, but they have a very very tight knit film community. And she did say it was growing, so we'll talk to Jamie about that as well. Of course, tomorrow we'll be talking to Mitch Lang, along with one of his co-stars of the Sea of Madness, Benjamin Gross, and the makeup artist for that movie, Jeanette Netherland, and they will be here tomorrow night at 8. Like I said, Thursday we have Mike Ferguson will be here. I don't even know where to even start with that, other than that he is very excited, and he said that he's done his best work in a brand new film called uh, "Hey Star Lord, how are you? Hey Mike, how are you?" I just listened to your review on the Zone of Interest, Mike. I just listened to that. I very much want to see that movie. Uh, Yeah, that I very much want to see Zone of Interest. Um, I was really happy to see it got as much Academy Award love as it did. Um, it's an important movie. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's important. We need to be reminded of where we came from, especially this country. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Star Lord said he just came. He just said came from the MST 3000 live stream and said I needed to recharge now. Uh, that's right. Recharge the phone. I get it. I get it. Wow. I really look chopped off here. I have to lift this up here a little bit. I think. Let's see if that'll help out a little bit. All right. So what I'm doing now is what I generally do. I do all the time whenever I do a pop up. I'm promoting the show for tonight. Um, like I said, I mean, it's really excited. Our calendar is really good this month too. I just got done booking the last of the last. I have one date left, but I have to wait until the actor gets back stateside, and that will be hopefully will be Tori Griffith will be joining us at the end of the month. Tori Griffith. Tori Griffith has starred in a brand new movie called uh, called Lion Girl, and she's over in Japan right now promoting it and having a great time by everything for all that I've seen. She's having a fantastic promotional run. Oh my gosh, looky here. We got a celebrity in the house, two celebrities actually. The mighty Mary Wilson from the ISC Midnights, and of course our good friend Erie Frog, who wants to be, who wants, we all want to be Frog famous. What's going on, Frog? Hopefully you're doing well. We are getting snowed on here. Um, yeah, we're getting snowed on here. This might actually be. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to the library or not. So I'm doing a little promotion before I go. Um, I'm not really sure. The snow's coming down as much as it is. So we might not be making the library run till tomorrow, or I don't know. I'm gonna find out in about 35 minutes or so. I'm gonna go check the ground and see how the snow is, and check out the traffic outside my window. Um, if the traffic seems to be going along pretty smooth, I might go ahead and head out to the library anyway. Um, but the roads are being what they are. Ugh. Um, so like I said, we're doing promotion for Jamie Hill, and and of course the mighty Mike Ferguson. Thursday will be here Thursday. Super excited about that. Let's see. Oh, he just sent me some pictures. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, he sent me a picture of him and Nikki. So yeah, he did a movie with down in Thailand called The Flood, and he co-starred with Nikki Whalen, who's a terrific actress, and she's sassy. I adore Nikki Whalen. She is she's an action hero. Sort of went the way of Megan Fox. If you guys have noticed that, Megan Fox has hey, what's going on, Kevin? Uh, So if some of us have noticed that Megan Fox has gone and embraced the action genre. That's what she does. She does a lot of action movies, and even though we all know that she could definitely be a leading lady in a rom com or dramas and what have you, but she's chosen to become an action star. And the same thing has happened with a couple of other actresses that we know of that are gorgeous, but they rather embrace the action genre, and they've become rather well known for that. And one of them would be Jamie Bernadette, of course, and the other one would be Nikki Whalen. Um, they do a lot. They do a lot of physical stunts, physical fights. Chasing around, chasing the bad guys down. I gotta throw Olga Kurylenko in there too. Olga Kurylenko also was another great actress who does a lot of action and a lot of action and adventure movies. Um, so Mike just sent me a picture of him and Nikki standing side by side, and they have a terrific fight scene in the flood. Um, it's a it's pretty badass. I gotta, we'll be talking with Mike about this, but I mentioned before, he is such a generous actor. I mean, he's not afraid. A lot of people, they're self-conscious about how they appear on camera, the lines, amount of time on camera, all that sort of thing. Mike just wants to go. He just wants to act. That's all he wants to do. Give him a good script, give him some fun to do, and he's not afraid to do it. Um, Big guy, 6'2", 6'3", 250. Not 230, and he's not afraid to get just have his ass whipped on camera by a woman. There's a lot of mainstream actors that would not put up with that. Um, but uh, um, but yeah, in this case, yeah, yeah, not afraid to, never afraid to. Hi, Charles. How are you? Charles just popped up from the podcast Dive, and he is going to be our next to last show of the of February. He will be coming in on February 27th to talk about his podcast to Dive, and we're looking forward to seeing Charles come in and talk. He promotes other channels. He promotes uh, other podcasts, and so I asked him if he would like to come on our show, and I'm grateful that he said yes, yes. Um, see, uh, see, Kevin says there's a lot of money to be made in action movies. I was just talking to someone about that the other day. There are entire studios dedicated to pumping out tons of action movies for streaming. Yes, Saban Films is one. Damian Hillian's group is another one. Grindstone Entertainment is another one. Um, uh, Speaking of celebrities, in walked in Jareth from Video Tasties, getting ready to interview Neil Marshall. Director Neil Marshall will be on Garrett's show. That's going to be a fun interview. That's going to be amazing. Of course, Neil Marshall is very famous in our community for some of the movies that he has done, such as The Descent, Doomsday, Dog Soldiers, a movie that I saw, Centurion. I saw Centurion. Uh, uh, he also worked on Lost in Space TV series. He directed 20 episodes of that. Or produced 20. He was a producer of the Lost in Space. He produced 20 episodes of that. So Neil Marshall is definitely huge for our community, and I hope that we all go out there and support it. Um, yeah, that's going to be very, very exciting. Yeah, sheesh, man, so many cool things coming on here, and we all need to support it. We need to throw our weight behind channels like Garrett's when they do get a major interview like Neil Marshall, and that is a major interview. We need to throw our weight behind it, not only to watch it live, but to also pass it around on replay if we can on our community tabs and what have you. Um, yes. Uh, let's see. There's James just walked in through the door from the Friendly Men. There's going to be let's see. And Mary Wilson says she just watched Funhouse. That's awesome. I heard that is a hell of a movie. I'm going to be watching Dog Soldiers. I really want to see that. Um, I did see the trailer for Monkey Man. That looks great. Monkey Man looks great. It looks sort of like sort of looks like in a sense. It sort of sounds like it's going to be a little bit off of Iron Monkey, a little bit. Maybe not quite as maybe not quite like Iron Monkey, but um, yes, I definitely have heard great things about Funhouse. Um, yeah, but again, I just want to emphasize too that we got some heads in here. Is that when we get a chance to, because because it doesn't happen very often, but we get a chance to get someone like a Neil Marshall in our community. And the thing is that kills me about this is like we all talk about their movies endlessly. We talked about everything. We talked about The Descent. We talked about Lost in Space. We've talked about you know of course, we talked about Timeless. That was a fun movie. That was a fun one, TV series. We talked about The Lair. We talked about a lot of the Descent. The Descent is like one of the most popular movies in our community, and it's like when people talk about you know just awesome movies in general, The Descent always pretty much makes the list. So we're talking about the movies, right? We're talking about it. And to me, I don't know about you guys, but this is one of the reasons why I do the show here. And Gareth from probably for his show as well, and Charles and and Stephen and Echo and Eric. Uh, it's the fact it's great to talk about the movies, but man, I'm curious. I always want to see what's behind it. I want to talk to the people who made the movie. That's what's exciting to me. It's like, how did you come up with the idea? How did you do that shoot? How did you get that angle? I really want to know. I mean, I'm just, people talk about, oh, that movie's so awesome and this, but do you know you have a chance to go over there and ask a question of the guy who directed it? Do you know that you have a chance to do that? And you don't have to pay $100 to go through a convention door and wait an hours to do so? Could you imagine that? You get a chance to hear if Neil Marshall appeared on at a comic convention or a movie convention, and you wanted to ask him a question about dog soldiers, you have to pay $80. Then you have to stand in line for hours. Then you have to get up there and you probably would have to buy something, which you've already done that. You've already bought in his movies. But then you have to go there and buy something from his desk. And then you have to hopefully get to ask a question. Hopefully you get to answer it, depending on the size of the line. If it's a big line, forget that. They're going to keep your ass moving. Maybe if there's nobody behind you or there's a few people behind you, you might be able to get up there. You might be able to get up. You might be able to get your question. But are you recording it? Are you going to be able to record this question? Probably not. They're probably going to make you charge you for that. But here we go. We have it right here in our own community, a chance to talk to Neil Marshall on a Video Tasty's channel and to be able to ask a question and have it saved for posterity. Like you could take you could pop up there and take a screenshot of you asking your question and having him answer it. And how freaking cool is that? That's fun. That's like getting an autograph. That's like getting an autographed picture, you know? Hi Wilkie, how are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Um, so and Gareth, oh shoot, I need to do that. Hold on here. Guess that will probably help too. Gareth, you can go ahead and drop your link if you would. Drop your link to the show. Go ahead and drop the link to the Neil Marshall show in the chat. Um, well, you know what? You know what's funny, Gareth? What's sad about that is that's probably what's gonna probably that's probably I'm surprised it actually hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure there's probably gonna be some channels out there that will be doing members only interviews. If you want to go ahead and see this interview with this filmmaker or whoever, you're probably gonna start being charged memberships. Maybe. Of course, if the talent hears about that, they're gonna want a cut of the action. So, but I won't be surprised if that happens. when someone comes up there and says, "I'm interviewing somebody, but it's only for members only." I'm waiting for that to happen. Um, no, I think it's awesome that you allow us to come up there and talk. I got to go on Video Tasty's channel, and I got to talk to Matthias Hughes. That was an amazing experience for me. That was an amazing experience, and now, I personally don't really do that for my interviews. I will take questions from the audience. We all do things a little differently, but I will take people's questions from from the chat, and I will pass it on to our guests. Um, to keep the things going. But we all do our channel. We all handle our channels a little differently. But the main fact of the matter is that we get somebody like a Neil Marshall, and us as a community, we must come out and support that. Um, I mean, it's better if we could do it live. Uh, Thank you so much. I will. You know what? I will do my very best to. I'm gonna roll on over and I'm gonna roll on over for that. I'm honored. Thank you so much. That's really cool. And the thing that it is, though, what I really appreciate about Gareth and Echo and Steven and our good friend Eric, they bust their ass. Uh, they don't they work really hard on getting these guests, and for a lot of times these guests take a long time to get. They're not. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not like you can call the phone and say, "Hey, you want to come onto the show?" Many times we have to work our ass off for that interview. Um, Once in a while, we get really lucky and we do meet a really good press promotion agent like Stephen Chang, who just walked through the door. Once in a great while, we get somebody like Stephen here. And if you haven't subscribed to Stephen Chang's page or channel, do so. Find him. You can find him on Instagram. I find him on Facebook. Um, Doing well, sir. Doing well. Um, And once in a great while, we get somebody like Stephen Chang who wants to come over and help our channels out and give us guests and what have you. But I guess my whole rant is, if it's a rant, I don't think it's a rant, but I just think that we need to support these shows a lot more than we are. We all talk about the movies, but when we get a chance to talk to the people behind them, we we tend not to go to the smaller channels. We tend to go to the big channels. Um, and the fact of the matter is, the big channels aren't doing the work that we're doing. I mean, I've seen a lot of channels trying to do the interview game, and they get some good names on there. I'm not going to lie about that, and congratulations to them. And it does help out. But what really kills me is like I hear other people outside that channel talk about those shows. We promote them. I talk about them all a lot. It even encourage people to go back and watch the replays, because that also helps. Replays also help tremendously. In fact, for a lot of the small channels, we depend on those replays. We depend on you sharing it out and replaying it. Um, let's see. Kevin says, "I don't like that idea. I think it might be okay to do like an exclusive question and answer after the interview, but still not a huge fan of that idea. But it seems more understandable." I hate it too, Kevin, and that will never happen here. That will never happen on my channel. If people come in through here, if people come in here and they have a question, and they're patient enough to sit here and watch, I'm going to let them ask that question here. There will never be a membership on my page. My channel will never be monetized, for one thing. It will never be monetized. It's not why I started my channel for. So, and I think it's cool because I see a lot of good questions coming from the chat. When people come in there, and I try to ask as many as I can. Now, I admit, um, let's see. Yes, we're definitely going to have a lot of them come back. Stephen, I'm going to be start working on March pretty soon, and that's, of course, March is Women in Entertainment Month here on the channel, and I plan on inviting a lot of former guests back to catch up to see how they have see how they've done. Um, I've already started having some folks come back already. We have Morgan. Uh, uh, Many of us know her as Morgan Thompson. She'll be coming back. Morgan Thompson. She'll be coming back, um, and we'll be having some other guests as back as well. In March, I plan on having more. I want to catch up with a lot of favorites. Um, yes, in 7 days we have model Cat Estella will be with us. That'll be a lot of fun. Especially that's really that's really the big, I guess, like I said, the big thing for me, my soapbox is that we just support each other a little bit more on the interviews when we get a chance, because they're pretty rare, honestly. The interviews are pretty rare. Um, I mean, some of you guys might know me and Gareth and what have you, but considering all the channels are out there on YouTube, what we're doing is not nobody's really doing a whole lot of it. Um, uh, and there's some really fun podcasts out there too. I mean, there's some hardworking people out there. Um, there's other channels out there who I watch. Uh, I haven't got a hold of them yet. Um, it's hard to make contact with some channels. But there's a guy out there, Python's Grip or something like that. I I I see him all the time, but he does pre-recorded shows, and his shows come out at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm never there, and they're always pre-taped, so I'm never there, and he doesn't premiere them, so there's no chance to any interaction for me. I would love to have him on the show, tell you the truth. Uh, I am I'm gonna be booking. I'm gonna be asking Nikki again. I've asked her a couple of times, but I will definitely ask her again if she can do if she wants to do a spot in March. I will be more than happy to, and she has said that she would be willing to do it, but it takes a little bit, it takes a little bit more just to say you want to come on, and yes, um, I got to be able to get a date and lock it in, and I have not been able to get a date from her, which is why I have not have her on the show yet. The schedule is really busy for a lot of these performers, Stephen. So that's the problem with someone like Nikki, who's very popular. Is the fact that her schedule is always busy. So it's really, really hard sometimes. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? How are you? Our good friend Jennifer at home, um, watching her and her wonderful husband remodel their home. Absolutely awesome to watch. So much fun. So much fun. I've gotten the kick out of it. I just keep thinking, though. I keep thinking you're doing all this remodeling, and you are not going to move, right? You're not moving. You're just remodeling the home. I see all that. I see all the remodeling. I'm going like, man, that sounds like someone who's prepping up to move. And I'm going like, I hope they don't move because I really think you have a beautiful home. It's a really pretty part of the country you guys live in. That's for sure. Um, One thing I'll mention too, not only has Gareth doing Neil Marshall, interviewing Neil Marshall, I also got our friend, we also got our friend Ricky Mallon, who will be he will be here on Sunday. He got himself in some movies. Um, I gotta make sure. See, February 12th at 5 p.m. Make sure I am not. I am totally open for this. I can write this down in my book. There you go. Garrett's my friend. He scheduled the show, so it was on a Monday. That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that for me, Gareth. That's awesome. Let's see. You know what? Oh, good, good, Jennifer. Um, honestly, I think what's really cool about this, Gareth, is the fact that you and Ricky are very much alike in the fact that you both wanted to do something and you went out there and you did it. You overcame a lot of obstacles to do so. You have become a premier interviewer, and on your channel, and you've gotten a lot of major heavy hitters there on your channel. Who would ever thought that, a couple years ago or a year and a half ago, this would happen, right? So who would ever thought that? I mean, I ever think I'd be talking to some of these people? I didn't, but we managed to do it, right? And I think with somebody like Ricky, Ricky wanted to get into acting. He wanted to start acting. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get into it, and he's done it. He's actually done it. He's actually worked hard, and he's put in the work, and he's actually in a damn movie. I mean, how cool is that? Um, Now, of course, One Night Rental going to be absolutely stellar? Who cares? I'm just glad to see our friend is on screen. I'm excited for him. I do know that the film into making this movie because he did cast a very well known actress in Danny Thompson. Danny Thompson has appeared in dozens of movies. She's a veteran actress. So he paired her. The director paired him up. Chris Annable paired Ricky up with a very capable performer. So I think that says a lot. I think that oh, thank you so much. If we can, I will be happy to give her a date. But I know her schedule is very busy. Um, so I mean, I just think it's cool as hell that he's done it. And like I mentioned to you earlier, we messaged earlier, Ricky will be here on Sunday the 4th with his director Chris Annable. But I really want to see Ricky and Danny and Chris on Garrett's show. I think that would be awesome. I would think that would be great. I think that'll be a fun show. Very much. Uh, sure, sure. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see Gareth and Ricky interview Gareth interview Ricky, and I know you guys are we're all friends. We're all friends for sure. It'll be different interviewing him, as lovable Ricky, the from the old AF. Now we're interviewing Rick as the actor. It's a whole different mindset, right? I mean, we're not, yes, he's our friend, but now we're interviewing him like we with the same questions that we'd be interviewing Neil Marshall with or Mike Ferguson with. I think that's really cool. I really do. I'm so happy for Rick. I think it's and I got to change his last name. I keep spelling his last name wrong. Sorry, Rick. Um. So yes, I Gareth, Ricky couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. You know what? Maybe the first movie that might be the case, but come on, I don't think that's true at all. Look what him and Pablo did on their channel. I think he's a natural actor. I do. I think he's a natural. Now you know you can't be doing that with him when you interview him, right? Yeah, and I can't bring up chili sauce or I can't bring up hot peppers either when I talk to him on Sunday. We're gonna talk to him about acting and One Night Rental, which actually looks like a lot of fun. Oh gosh. Um, all right. Let's see if I can promote this show a little bit more. Oh, so how many of you guys are gonna come out for for Jamie? for Jamie Hill tonight. Oh yes, let me drop this off here. Gosh, let me drop this off. Um, so here's our good friend Mike. Here's our friend Mike. Did you see that? He just dropped his review off the Zone of Interest. He put that out on his channel today. So if you guys get a chance to go over there and check out that that film review, highly recommend it. Um, it looks really good. It's sort of weird saying that. You're really looking forward to seeing a movie about a topic like the Zone of Interest. But I am. I'm very eager to see it. Um, speaking of replays, so of course everything that we drop off to you guys here in the channel in the chat here, um, we don't expect you to rush over there to start reading it or anything else like that. We know better. You guys are here to hear me talk or flap my lips or whatever. But what you guys can do when I drop the links down there is you can go over there, click on the link, put it in your watch later category, watch later, then come back here and hear me rant some more. Um, so the reason I say that is because I want to bring up on the IFC Midnight show that we did. We watched and covered a movie called Crow's Nest last Sunday on Horror with Hoss's channel, and I thought we had a really good dialogue about that movie. I thought that was that movie. That movie definitely. I tell you what, Crow's Nest has one of the most brutal kills you'll ever see in a horror movie. Um, I mean, it's like Saw level, it's like trap level. It's really up there. It's Texas Chainsaw, that sort of it's up there in the same category. It's a brutal kill. Holy crap. Um, uh, but we watched it on Horror with Hoss's channel, and definitely want to drop that link in there so you guys could maybe go take a peek at it. Uh, Of course, we do the IFC show every the last Sunday of every month. All right, let me grab it. All right, grab that real quick. Yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm going to drop this down here. I'm also going to drop it in my community tab too, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. All right. So here's what we did on the IFC show last Sunday. Um, oops. All right. Oh, the mighty John. What's going on, Doomsday? John has been doing some crazy shows as well. A lot of cool interviews as well. Okay, here is the interview for that's the interview for Crow's or the chat for Crow's Nest. And John, you must be are you getting ready for season for convention season, right? Uh, I've been busy, been really busy. I saw you were interviewing some other another mask maker. I'm gonna have to go over there and raid that guy. Are you getting ready for convention season? I'm gonna get you. Yeah. When is convention season gonna start for you? Is it gonna start in May or June? Yeah. Wow. When's your first convention? See if we can get you on here before that happens. but conventions seem to be really popular, and they're popping up everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. Um, oh, Chicago in March. Oh, yeah. Woo. Yeah, that's early. That's early. I was thinking April. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah, you know what? Let me send you the link. I'll send you the link right now, and let's see, get you on here. Yeah, let's do that. Um, because I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to, because you're gonna be super busy. All right. Let's see. I'm sending it to you through your Facebook, John. Let's see. Better put that on here. All right. Let me close some of these browsers down. Let's see. Natalie Denise Burrow. Yes. I definitely want to have her back. I definitely gonna have her. I'm gonna invite her back in March, Stephen, but I'm gonna invite her back as her band. Kill My Coquette. I'm gonna have the band come back. That's what I want to do. I think she's I've heard her version of the Metro that she did. She covered Berlin's Metro. Man, I really like that. And the Wrong Crowd is a poppin'. That's a banging single. I thought that song was really good too. Kill My Coquette, man. They got some pipes. They got a little bit of fire behind them. And of course, we interviewed Blind Adam and the Federal League. We interviewed Adam, the lead singer, on that show last week. Man, that was a good show. That was a real good show. I was really happy with that. Um, I know it's different, from what we normally do on here, but we're doing something new. We're doing a showcase where we're talking with a band from the Bipolar Records family, and we're highlighting a band once a month. Um, and we'll be interviewing Boob Sweat on February 13th. I know the name the name sounds cool, but let me tell you, for sure, the band rocks. It's a Michigan-based band out of Grand Rapids, and if you just go to Spotify and type in "boob sweat," two different words, boobs and sweat, take a listen to the tunes, man. Super cool, very crunchy, power pop trio, um, and they rock. I have sent. I think I've sent out like 5 or 6 invitations for her, Stephen, and I never got anything back. So, I mean, I didn't get anything back at all. So, yeah, I don't know what to do about that one. I would love to. I mean, Cammy was a great interview. He was really good. But for some reason, I just couldn't get Kim to commit to anything. I couldn't get her to answer me. It happens. All right. Well, thanks for staying in and staying in with us. It is yes, it is still snowing like a cats and dogs outside. We're gonna get John up here from Doomsday Krypt. He's gonna come up here and we're gonna talk a little bit of conventions. What I go ahead and throw off some more links on for the show tonight.
What's going on, man? Long time.
Oh man, here it is, the Big John.
What is up?
No big swag.
No big swag. No, we tomorrow night with the swag, we got Tom Matthews on.
Really, Tom
Yeah,
Matthews from
Tommy Jarvis, Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2. Yeah,
yeah.
that should
I
be a
heard
fun one.
Yeah, I heard he was I heard he was a little bit shy. Nice
He is.
cat.
He's a real nice guy. You know, I didn't see him in 2023, but I saw him like 3 or 4 times in 2024. And Brett and him have become really close friends. It seems like they're always at a convention together. I'll be seeing them in Kansas City at Crypticon.
Now, honestly, I mean, you can be honest. Who hasn't become friends with Brett? I
Uh,
mean,
he's
anybody who meets,
he's the man when it comes to buddying up with people. He's impossible not to like because he's just
yeah,
such a he's just got that personality.
he really does. I mean, you see him, and he's a huge dude, and then next thing you know,
And
I
he's
mean,
got that voice.
he's your best friend.
Oh yeah, yeah. Brett's my dude. Yeah,
He's a-
we have a lot of fun.
I
We've
mean,
had a lot of fun working together. It's been great seeing him just be on fire, man. I mean, him
it
and
is.
Beatrice has been on fire. We just announced that show's coming back February 12th. We're bringing
I know.
on
I was actually getting this sort of itchy. I was thinking, if Beatrice is coming back here, I might have to go. I might have to go kidnap her again, like we did
I
for.
know, I know, I know. Well, she's been acting and her son's in college and family, and she's got a life outside of being an
Yes.
actress too. And then on top, all the conventions and acting she's been doing. So we've, me and her have become really close too, and we've been itching to get a show back on. So to bring on
Yeah.
Ken Sagos. Tonight, I'm going live in the Krypt. I know Ann Myrna and S.J. Herman, Mr. Steve Herman. We'll be talking AcroStar tonight. I've been getting back into that. Set up the room
Acrostar
finally.
Pictures? You say Acrostar's Pictures?
Yeah, AcroStar
Oh,
Films.
okay.
They did
Yeah.
it. It came from somewhere. Bill Russell's been in it.
Okay.
A few different people. They've worked with Angel Bradford, which I know you know.
Yep. Nope. No. No
And they
Angel.
got
Yeah.
Yeah, they do some really fun films. If you haven't checked out It Came From Somewhere, it's kind of like that old B movie. You'd probably like it with the aliens and just, practical bad props, but just a lot of fun.
Right.
The
We
old
interviewed.
style films.
I think we interviewed Mia Katz last week, and she
Oh,
works for
nice.
Acrostar. Yeah, she does. She's done a lot of things for Acrostar. So when you said that, I'm like, yeah, all right, I know her. I
Yeah.
know the company. Yeah, a lot of good independent films coming out now. And um, have you heard very much from some of your friends or your contacts? The thing with Tubi, it seems to be like the number one thing for me. Tubi came out there and said that they're going to be doing less independent films, releasing independent films. And it seems to be like when you turn it on now, you're seeing more and more old mainstream movies from the big studios rather than the independent films that
Well,
we're
I'm
used
still
to.
finding, and I get suggested independent films all the time on there. I hope you're wrong. I hope they don't do that on Tubi because it's become such an important platform for indie movies to get on and fans to be able to see what some of these up and coming filmmakers are doing. A lot of these people are growing, and and I've seen a lot of these filmmakers as well as you over the last few years since we've been doing this. grow as filmmakers and doing some amazing things, and their movies just keep getting better and better. So yeah, there's a lot of talent out there, and I think it'd be a shame if Tubi doesn't
I
keep doing
agree.
what they're doing.
I agree. Oh boy.
It's what lets them stand out. Now they do have great content of everything to really get away from the indie, because I can't see that really hurting their pockets too much or anything like that.
I don't know. You're right. I mean, it's just like, to me, it's like, wow, you have the
We'll just have to
opportunity.
open our own Tubi, buddy. We'll just
Yeah,
call it, Cheetah and the Krypt, and we'll channel.
that's
We'll
right.
have the indie streaming service or something.
We you know what, I'm really hoping I'm really hoping I'm with you. I'm really hoping that they, like they posted something on their Instagram, like, have a good day, or what do you wish for, something like that. And I just said, please don't shut down the independent filmmakers streaming.
No,
Make sure they get paid. Don't do what Amazon don't do what Amazon did. I mean, I guess Amazon's they're still out there. Still, I guess they are still playing a few independent projects.
they are. They give an option, which is good with Amazon. I'm not going to knock on Amazon, because they do at least put the opportunity for filmmakers to put it in there and sell or rent their movies. So that's a nice perk on. And I always, even if it's on Tubi, if it's a filmmaker I like and respect, and I want to support them, I'm going to go buy the movie on Amazon anyway. If I didn't get the physical version, I'm going to at least buy it and give that kind of support. So in that sense, I do appreciate Amazon too. But it'd be a shame if Tubi gets rid of it. But there are other
No, I
platforms.
really don't, because
Crackle.
yeah, because it used to be out. Every filmmaker used to dash over there and get on Amazon. I mean, over and over and over. We're on Amazon. We're on Amazon. And then slowly during the last couple of years, it's become less and less that. Now it's more and more and much more. We're on Tubi. We're on Tubi. We're on Tubi, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and it's like, yeah, I love it. I go to Tubi. I can sit there and I can lose myself for 3 or 4 movies, and
If
I've
you
done.
asked me if I could have one app, paid anything, the one app I'd keep is Tubi. If I had one choice to keep,
Yeah.
it'd be Tubi. And even now, and it's still great, but I think even a couple of years ago they had even more on it. It seemed like you'd go through horror movies and it just never ended, from
Oh my
indie to
god.
everything.
Oh
And
my
now
gosh.
the list ends. It literally never ended. So I don't know
No,
what's going on.
you're right. I mean, the horror movie selection is absolutely top notch. I mean, they have classics. They have brand new filmmakers. I mean, they have, what I really like is when I find a movie I've never even heard of, and it's, like within the last couple of years. Like wow, I never even heard of this, which means it's fresh, it's brand new, it's exciting. People are still out there, and what I really want is I want them to get paid, because if they get paid and they make money off the streaming, I think it'll allow them to make physical media of their movies. Because you talk to most filmmakers, and they'll tell you they all want to release physical media. They want
Well,
to.
I mean, I love physical media, because once your internet's down, I don't care what you got. You ain't watching shit unless you maybe downloaded it. And
Right.
there's definitely benefits to physical media, and I think we've learned that even more as the years go on, and it becomes less and less. Yeah, I
Um,
think people are realizing, and that's why the demand for physical media is gaining. And I think companies are dropping the ball. Isn't like Target getting rid of all their physical media and stuff? And
mhm. Except for
you know,
records. Except
yeah.
for records. Uh, I think companies like Big Lots. I think Big Lots is still selling it, and proud to do so. I still see that. I still see Family Dollar, still selling it.
I'm reading
Larry
reading some of your
mentioned,
chat, and I agree. Pluto is great. It's limited, but it's great.
yeah,
Crackle's another one. Um,
yeah,
there's a
Pluto TV. That they don't do too bad. I mean, for all the mainstream movies, like you want to go watch a mainstream horror film, for the big studios, Pluto's spotless. And sometimes they do pop up. Like they had a Godzilla channel there for a minute. I'm not so sure if they're still running it or not, but I know for a while there, that's all they were running, Godzilla movies on the channel.
Yeah, I still
Uh,
got to see that -1. I heard so many good things about it, but it wasn't playing in a theater by me.
let's see. Kevin mentions, yeah, Amazon changed how you have to submit your film for streaming. Now you have to go through a distributor. So yeah, they got rid of that. Now
Yeah.
they put the
Well,
middleman.
anything to make it more harder.
Let's see. and Larry mentioned now they are getting a lot more stuff since the HBO merger. Yeah, like the last 4 or 5 times I've actually gone on my Tubi. I got Knives Out, I got Fury, and I got like 3 other mainstream movies that came out recently. And I'm just like, wow, what happened to what happened when I used to come in there and it was grotesque and it was it was Swamp Monster, what happened to that? I want to see that recommended because that's what I watch. I don't watch mainstream stuff on Tubi.
Well, if you watch enough of it, usually it starts recommending off your picks, but I guess it doesn't know you. It's just hard to get to know you, Patrick. You're a tough guy to really read. Even Tubi can't figure you out.
That's why I'm bringing. I'll tell you what they recommended for me right here. Okay, so this is what they recommended. This is it. Okay, Spartacus. They recommended Spartacus, and they recommended The Reader with Kate Winslet and Outlander. That's what they recommended. I'm like,
and none of that's really up your alley, huh?
I saw Outlander. I got to tell you, I saw Outlander when they played it on Sci-Fi Channel. That's a banging.
I was gonna say Outlander's a good movie. I like that movie.
I liked it too. It was very 13 Warriors.
Yeah,
I absolutely love. I love the 13th Warrior. That's one of my favorite movies.
yeah.
So when I saw that on Sci-Fi Channel and Jim Caviezel, and I like him a lot too. So yeah, I watched it, but Tubi had no idea I watched that because I watched that years ago on Sci-Fi Channel.
Well, they can read minds now, Patrick.
I
mean,
guess
you just
so.
don't understand the technology now. They can read our minds.
I'm totally getting left behind here.
I swear, I go on Facebook, I think about something, and there it is for me. I haven't even wrote anything about it, and I'll think about it.
You know what it is, John? Honestly, our phones and have they have microphones in it because that has happened. I have been sitting here and I'll be talking about I remember I was talking to my sister. I was talking to her about the Yeti cups on the phone. I was talking to my sister about Yeti cups, the big, and I swear to God, it was scary as shit. The next day, I went onto a website. All I saw was Yeti cups at me.
Oh, nice.
Dude, it's just like you're just shaking your head. You're just shaking your head about that. You're going like, that's really, really scary.
So Steven's asking about some of these pieces. If you want, I'll show some of them. A lot of them are signed now.
Yeah. Please do.
We got the 3-eyed demon here. Yeah, this was obviously a big project done by Josh Lucas. I actually got a second one. The eyes glow up. I can bring it up. Take a closer look if you want. So I love this piece. Obviously it's the brand. It was a big piece. Let's see. We got some Doug Bradley back here. That's signed by him. We got the Chatter. We got the Blacklight. Now those Michael Myers busts are pretty much signed by everybody from Danielle Harris to Scout Taylor Compton. Just everybody. Just everybody's on there. We got Felissa Rose here. Everybody loves Felissa. Signed.
Yeah.
A lot of these are signed. The Michael Myers is all signed back there.
Well, are these all your personal collection, or are these?
They're probably going to go into the store. We got the Super Freddy Blacklight. This is just some of my stuff. That's Unmasked Michael Myers, James Jude Courtney. The Part 5 signed by Don Shanks and Tam Glenn and Danielle Harris. And I just got that one Rob Zombie. And so that's just a few of the things I got right now. But there's more coming with the shows. Of course, we got the Hare Krishna, Mike Christopher, funny guy. Dawn of the Dead, the original.
Let's see. Steve wants to know about the Outlander. Yes, that's the one with Jim Caviezel. Yeah, not the time travel series. Though I heard the time travel series is rather good. Hi Betty J, how are you? See, Larry said that it's Skynet. That's why they're overhearing us. But it's really spooky. It's really, when you mention, like if I mention.
That's signed by Cassandra Peterson. We only did 2, and I got 2 of them signed, which is cool. I figured I'd show it. We do it's not physical media in there, but we do the
Well, that's physical. Anything that
Nope,
anybody can go and put their hand on.
yeah, it comes with like we've been doing those magnets and keychains and all sorts of stuff in there. So I thought that was a cool item keeping in the collection. I'll have one in the store, but it's a
Now,
limited
have
thing.
you gotten to meet the lady herself?
Oh yeah, she was at yeah, I met her. I have some pictures too. Let me see if I'll pull them up on my phone. Yeah, she signed a bunch of things, some pops I have. Um, we did those, the original art she signed,
That's
and a
very
few other things. So yeah, I spent quite a few. I didn't get any discount from her, and it's about
no,
80 bucks an autograph. And I think I spent almost 500 bucks on autographs, but it was, she was cool. It was worth it.
Wow, I'm surprised you're spending anything on autographs now that you're
Well,
now that you're
it wasn't
becoming
a
rather well
convention
known.
I was at, like, as a table. It was a Comic-Con. It was Kansas City. I wasn't a vendor there, so it was
Oh,
just
okay.
me and my
Oh,
guys. So
I was gonna
I
say
didn't get to
can't
know her.
I can't see you spending $500 today. Not
Well,
with
the only
Doomsday
reason I did it, no, I did it because I know the value of her, and we
yeah.
got some really cool stuff, and it's really limited. It's limited pieces. We got the original art signed, and either way, it's a cool collection piece. Nobody else is going to have it. You know how we do in the Krypt. We try to keep it unique, not so much NECA figures and stuff like that. If we do a pop or something, we usually like this is signed by Mick Foley. We did Dude Love, but of course we're going to put some art on the side by Michael Toth. So that's a cool piece.
Yeah, your table, your setup is fire.
And then this is a cool piece. This was signed by the guy who wrote and did Underworld, Rise of the Lycans.
Wow.
So that's a cool piece by Lonnie McCollum over at Graven Images.
Kevin wants to know, how close are you from Kansas City?
About 45 minutes away. I'll be at Kansas City Crypticon. You were asking me shows. I just booked Carolina Fear Fest, which will be really good because I'm hoping to have something for the Brute script, because that's something we're working on. And then James Shaver, he's going to join me at the table.
Oh, good.
I was going to fly in, and it's like $800 to fly in, so I got to drive 16 hours. So I'm going to drive to Carolina, bring a few things, a small load of stuff, feature James Shaver, bring Ronnie Hayes from Make a Path Presents, who was a big YouTube Walking Dead channel, talented guy who's helping me write this script. So, Carolina should be fun. And also Scarefest, I just booked again. Greatest show on earth. Scarefest, Lexington, Kentucky. Get a chance to go. And I'm going to Days of the Dead in March. And I'm looking at going to Flashback Weekend in Chicago, because I know a lot of filmmakers and friends out there as well. So that's on the table.
Our good friend Sabrina says hello. Hello, Sabrina. I'm hoping to bring her back in March.
Texas is definitely on the list, Horcat Dad. I my buddy Officer Sal's out there, and I was just talking to him about it. And of course, doing a show with the Lost Leatherface, Brett Wagner. I got to get to Texas.
Rumor has it that he does not answer that anymore.
No, he doesn't like it, but I still call him. He's stuck with it. No, it's Kemper Killer. Brett Wagner. 03 Kemper Killer. I don't know why. To me, there's a bunch of, like I told him, there's a bunch of Leatherfaces. There's only one Lost Leatherface. Why would you not want that?
Yeah. I personally think it's
Hey, listen, it's his name, it's his choice. I think he's wrong. I don't know anybody in the chat. To me, there's which Leatherface? Which one are you talking about?
All I see him as the big swag, and all I know is that he is so busy. And I'm so grateful. I can't. It's one of those stories where you're so damn grateful for him. Because of what happened to him. It was through no fault of his, and and it happened to him. And that could have been. That could have broken a lot of people.
Yeah, you can knock him down, but you ain't gonna keep that man down.
Yeah, he came back up, and I mean, it's really cool to see him more busier now than he was when he first started out in the business.
He's killing it.
He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
So
and,
I mean,
and the great thing is a lot of the conventions he's been introduced to, like Crypticon, and they love him, and these are great events that want him back, and do multiple events.
I was going to ask you, have you been, before you used to have to go pound the door at these conventions, going like, "Hey, I want to come to your convention." in some of these conventions, even if you have the money for a table, it doesn't necessarily mean you're getting in.
Yeah, you know what? There's some conventions that, I think once we get there, it goes a long way. People, they kind of see what we're up to. And if they don't really know us, because, a lot of them don't, the ones that know us, the ones that don't. So it's kind of like, okay, because I've learned I don't want to be mentioning Brett and Beatrice too fast. And now I work with, Michael Bailey Smith's become a good friend. I'm going to his wedding. He's, Hills Have Eyes 1 and 2. And,
you know what? I've been trying to get him to come
Super
on.
Freddy.
I've been trying to.
I'll get him on for you. I'll get Michael Bailey on,
because I've been trying to get him on forever. And then I'm going like, I'd love to talk to him.
Nicest guys you'll ever meet.
He really
is. He's become such a good friend. Another one's Douglas Tate. Yeah, and
seriously,
I'm looking into becoming a booking agent somewhat, but I'm trying to learn the ropes with it because I know with conventions what bugs them and what doesn't, and it's really skirting a line because you don't want to overstep yourself where they're like, what's this dude up to? It definitely, you don't want to send off red flags, which can happen when you're dealing with different people. Okay,
let me ask you a question. So like when you do a convention, right? Like let's say the Kansas City Crypticon, or better yet, let's go with XYZ convention. So let's say XYZ convention, you want to go there, right? And you call them up and you say, what's the rates? And they say, well, it's like $350.
Not anymore, dude. Most tables are like $700 to $1,000 just on the table.
Now, at the end of the show, is that all you're paying? Is just that, or does a promoter come by? Does he get any other percentage other than?
No, I just get the table and that's it. They don't get any percentage. Once you get the table, it's.
What about the guest? I mean, when the guests
that
come
is
in,
when it's tricky. Now, here's a good example. Scarefest. They became such good friends. Huge show too, and have been my favorite people in the world. Brandon Griffith and Adrian Deacons Elder. They'll be on the show again. I can't say enough. I mean, they brought like 100 guests last year. They brought in Beatrice for me. They brought in Brett for me. They loved them. I got a few suggestions for them this year. I don't want to piss them off, but even Brandon, I was doing a live last night. I'm like, I'm waiting for the vendor tables to come available. I'm looking forward. Right as soon as the show was done, he emailed me, gave me the link, made sure I was situated and set. So that blows my mind. And then there's other events that I've done so much for, and I feel like I've really supported, and I don't really ask for it, and everything feels like I'm straying away from their events because I find like a few of them have been disrespectful in their own way, man, and I've supported and I've traveled with them and I've brought them really good people that they're still using now, and then kind of like when I bring up something, it's like, oh, what, like I'm an asshole, and it's like, you guys have loved everything I brought, and when I come, I'm making sure these people pop too, we make sure the tables are good. So it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing. So it's me also learning too, as I'm growing too.
Well, it seems to me like the more conventions that are out there, to me, it's like, this is the risk that you run as a promoter. And what's really important, as far as I'm concerned, is to these promoters now is they need to be like, before they were the big, the big guy in the room, right? But the thing is, though, the conventions are coming up everywhere, and you know how that goes. So you have a pie, and if you cut it in 4 slices, you each get a good slice of the pie. But every time that someone comes up there and takes that knife and cuts into the pie, it becomes less and less and less. Before you know it, your slice of the pie is like 1/32, 1/36. You don't have much pie left. And the thing about it is, it's like, that tells you that you cannot act like back when you were getting the quarter of the pie or half the pie. You can't bring those same business tactics in today's market, because people are going to go up there and say, dude, I don't have to go to your show. I could wait another month and go to that one down the street.
I mean, when we go to a show, I put a lot of work into each table that I go to. I really do. I mean, each table, when I go and I put on one of those big ones, it's like 12 to 13, 14 hours to set that up and get it right. And bringing the stuff in, unboxing it from all the bins. And this is a small portion of my stuff. Whenever we go to an event, we try to bring the absolute best. And the ones who want to open the doors and welcome us, we're happy to do it. And the ones that don't. Like, I'm going to Carolina because Matt Burns, who's been a huge supporter and involved with that, with Carolina Fear Fest. We're going to it. I'm going to it. No doubt. He's been on the show multiple times. He supports everything in Doomsday's Krypt. He's been supporting Beatrice and Brett. So that's like a show I got to go to. It's just like Monster Expo last year. I went there in Taunton, Massachusetts. Now, I didn't want to go that far, but they were great. They put me in their magazine. And, you know, I mean, that's the type of thing that, you know, energizes me to go. And then there's maybe another convention, you know, that's not like that. And they don't like that. I'd rather go to somebody who wants what we can bring instead of not, if that makes any sense. And I've also learned one thing as I've gone, there's conventions that hate each other. They just battle it out.
Really?
Like, so there may be conventions out there that I don't even know that dislike me just because I went to this convention, so they don't want me at their convention. It's weird. It's crazy. It's like there's so much out there. It's like, why battle each other with the nonsense and bring what's important, which is for the horror community, for the fans.
Right. You know, that was we were just talking about that earlier about you know, before you got here, we're talking about how a lot of us, you know, because you do the same thing on DK and the Swag, and with Beatrice, you know, we interview various people from the from all walks of entertainment, you know, like, you know, the producers and makeup artists and actors and directors and what have you, studio owners. It just seems to me what kills me about it is, like, you know, we bust our ass to do so, and, you know, it's hard to get the massive community support for it. Even though we have a really good community, but it's rugged to try to get them to come out and support that. You know, to get out there and support some of the smaller channels that are doing it. Like your Facebook following is off the chain.
Yeah, but I'm still small, relatively small. I don't consider myself, you know, I do what I do, but I mean, it's not like I'm 100,000 followers or 1,000,000 followers or anything. You know, I got a few thousand followers, and people seem to enjoy what we're doing in the Krypt, and that's what matters.
They show up for your interviews too.
Well, I think that has to do with Brett and Beatrice more than me, but I mean, that's what makes it great, though. I enjoy the chemistry I got with both of them.
Yeah, because I go in there and you know, there's like 130 people in your chat, and you know, I know they're over there on Facebook. They're all watching on Facebook, and you develop that following, and it's really good to see that support there.
Well,
You know,
I mean, it's about the horror community, right? I mean, it's about all of us having fun and enjoying things, and team. We've always had that attitude. Like we've always supported each other, like myself and you, and our other friends out there. Now, I feel like I've been slacking, but it's not. I just haven't been on YouTube. I took like a social media break. I was so tired after 3 years of 24/7 doing, and after that convention run, and by the time I got back from Scarefest, a lot was changing, you know, when I first, you know, like when I got back home outside of Doomsday's Krypt, that I had to get adjusted. Now it's all situated, and, you know, but there was just a lot going on, and now I'm ready for 2024.
A lot of people don't know that you also carry a full-time job as well.
24 hours. I mean, I was doing 7 days a week, 24/7. Now Monday through Friday morning, I've got that set. I'm actually looking at opening a physical Doomsday's Krypt shop in town, and setting up some local signings. Like I'll bring in Michael Bailey Smith, since he's in Arkansas, for the launch signing, get Brett and Beatrice, you know, really try to bring something fun. And since I deal with the special needs community, I'd like to be able to build it where it's a horror / Chuck E. Cheese style. If I can get enough support from the town and open sort of a community center for the special needs, because their workshops literally down the street from where the shop will be. So it could be a lot of fun for the town in this area, and see what happens with it. So I'll keep you updated on that.
It'd be very exciting to do. I mean,
promote the online store too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would definitely I mean, yeah, definitely pair with some other stores. I mean, the business model seems to be changing too. You know, like we've been here. You know,
well, the Doomsday's Krypt, I got the shop. I just got to launch it, and it's been like I said, it got crazy. I'm not going to go into details when I got back, and I'm just now getting some stuff set up. So it was like that, and trying to get the shop and my stuff was just. I just haven't had a chance to open it, but it's going to be opening soon. www.dooms, or not even www, doomsdayskrypt.com. You can find the page. It's about ready to open. There's nothing in the shop yet, but we're going to have the shirts and all, you know, signed autographs. But there's also some really cool features on there where we're going to be doing live shows, some live signings. So if we're doing it at the shop, we'll integrate it and really, try to give the horror community something fun to hang out and do. Meet some
Definitely.
new guests and talk to them.
Our good friend Hobbs just walked in through the door.
Hobbsy, what's up, buddy? Long time, brother.
Physical media matters. It does more than ever, more than ever. Yeah, I think this summer. Honestly, I think you guys are gonna get pounded. I mean, I think you guys are gonna get pounded. I think people are gonna want everything you got. They're gonna want everything you're selling.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, and it's such a niche market I'm in, but it's
Yeah, but
okay. I'm looking to.
everybody's being told now to
Yeah.
grab physical media. Everybody's being told to support it, otherwise. And like you said, physical media seems to be bouncing back a little bit. And I really do think that's what's going to happen. I think people are going to come out there. Collectibles are going to be hot again. I mean, people are going to want stuff because there's that fear of, what's that saying? FOMO, fear of missing out, right?
Yeah.
So I think this summer is going to be just banging.
You don't know what you got until it's gone, kind of deal.
Right. I mean,
you take things for granted, and then when you can't find it anymore, it's like, oh man, I could get it anywhere. I threw this stuff away. Old tube TVs, just like I'd love an old tube TV, some old horror VHSs, and experience horror the way I experienced as a kid on a gritty tube TV.
Gosh. I'm seeing people.
I don't know if I froze or Patrick froze.
Good old StreamYard. Just now starting to collect VHS tapes. Today, like, okay, I got to get start for my collection, and they're going like, "You're just starting it now? That's awesome." That's awesome. Good luck finding it, but that's it's because it's out there. People are buying it. So yeah. Hi, Snow. How are you? Yeah, I know that Steven, I know that John would not mind that at all. Steven,
that's what we do. Is we support each other.
Yeah, promo guru. Yeah. Snow is here. Snow is going to be come by and visiting us in March. She doesn't know that yet, but I saved a date for Snow. We're gonna have her come out there and hang out with us. What do you got coming up as far as on the Krypt goes? Who do you got coming up as far as guest wise go?
Well, tonight, Ann Myrna and Steve Herman. That's just Alive in the Krypt with me and them two talking with Acrostar Films. They're a great indie company, really great people. I've had them on before. I'm looking forward to having them on again. Tomorrow we got Tom Matthews.
That's gonna be fun.
February 12th, and that's with Brett. That's live. Shootin the Shizz with DK and the Swag.
That's gonna be on the 12th.
Matthews. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then on February 12th, we got Ken Sagos, Kincaid from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4. When he meets up with Freddy Krueger's mom, Amanda Krueger, on DK and the Bees Horror Buzz. That's going to be a fun show. Ken's a really good guy. I'll be seeing him in Chicago at March. And actually, one of the things we're going to be doing, and I happen to have it right here, is a painting I had done. I don't know if you remember that. And it's like, we're going to do something with it at Chicago or for the show. We're going to be doing a comic giveaway. He's got his new comic out. And I'm telling you, I'm not trying to promote too much on here, but Ken Sagos has a new comic out, and you can get it signed for $20 if you go on the Sagos company. There's some really good deals and really cool posters. Like I got the poster with it signed in a button, and it's pretty cool because I got that Jason Texas.
No, by all means,
yeah, he signs it. I'm telling you, for $20, you're getting a Ken Sagos autograph, Kincaid. I mean, his prices are great. Got to shout him out. I know he's promoting his comic, and I promised him. But we have Nancy Ann Ritter and Matt Burns, and Nancy Ann Ritter, one of the bathroom girls from Scream. She's coming on. She's an upcoming film, and also with Beatrice. So that's going to be a show with Matt Burns, the director. I can't think of his last name. I believe his first name is David. But I'll be announcing that show soon. And yeah, we got a lot coming up. I'm trying to get more consistent. So
yeah. I very much I very much would like to talk to Michael Bailey Smith for sure.
I'll get you hooked up.
I saw him on your show. I saw him on Steven's show, and I saw him on your show. And it's just like, and then he popped up on the 150th episode of House of Horrors last week. And I'm going like, man, how do I get Ben Grimm in here?
Did he get on? Was he on Steve's show? I didn't know Mike was on there.
Yeah, he certainly did. He certainly popped up and paid his respects for the
Oh,
150th. Yeah, it was really cool.
oh, nice,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, he had a few heads on there for that.
Yeah, we'll get you Michael Bailey though. He's a good guy. I'll talk to him. I know he's really busy right now. He just opened a company. Well, no, he'll come on, but he just opened his company, and I know he's preparing his wedding in April. So he's been
Yeah, he mentioned that. He
he's
mentioned
been
getting.
yeah, it's been real busy for him, but we'll get him set up. I'm sure he'd come on the show. He'll make some
Yeah,
time to
we'll
do it.
we'll talk. We'll talk a summer date for sure. I mean,
That was a
I
lot
mean,
of fun when I did the Nightmare on Elm Street 5 reunion on the anniversary with
I saw that.
Beatrice.
I saw that. You
Yeah.
got everybody in.
Yeah, we
That was
had
cool.
Super
Lisa
Freddy, we
Wilcox.
had Lisa Wilcox, Danny
I was,
Hassel.
I was so happy to see that, John. I was so happy.
Or not Danny Hassel, he was on another time. But yeah, that was fun.
That
I
was
mean, that
that
was
was
an honor. How cool is that to be part of a Nightmare on Elm Street 5 reunion on the day?
I'm
It was
saying
kind of a crazy show. It was a little all over the place, but it was just a cool
yeah,
experience
but
for me.
that's what kind of panel shows are. That's what panels are like. Like I'm trying to do a little bit more of those myself. More panels, and I'm actually doing something a little different for us. We're doing a watch along on a movie with the cast and crew of
Oh
the
yeah,
movie,
which one?
Gunfight at Rio Bravo
Okay.
with Joe Cornette.
I, I
Uh,
I don't know if I've seen it, but I know the movie. I know I've heard of that movie.
yeah, they just released a poster for the sequel called "Taken from Rio Bravo." That poster's
I'll
sick.
check it out. I'll check it out. Is it on Tubi?
On Tubi, on Tubi. A Gunfight is on Tubi. Taken has not been released yet. It's still in post.
Just send me any links too, because I got like a memory of a 90-year-old man. I can't remember anything with dementia. So once it goes in here, it goes out
Yeah,
there.
you know what? You know what? So do I. That's what happened. That's what happens when we're so absolutely crazy. Is that we just totally like I'm sitting here, we're going like I'm typing into because we're having Jamie Hill on today's show.
Oh, nice.
She's the actress from Skinner Marinick.
A
Plays
Skinamarink.
Yeah, Skinner
Nice.
Marinick.
I,
So
I've started that movie a few times. I just haven't had a chance to finish it.
so
It's definitely
it's
different,
good.
so it's
It's
interesting.
it's very good. It's
Yeah,
very good. I know that
it's
there's other
different.
people.
I mean,
Yeah.
you get it's from what I was watching. It's just I got so busy at work, and it's a very not. There's not a lot of dialogue in the movie, so it's
No,
very
no,
important to watch it. So
no.
I
There's
just haven't had a chance to finish it.
there's 10 minutes of people on screen.
Yeah, yeah.
An
It's a
hour,
lot
an
of
hour.
walls and
Yeah, it's a
ceilings,
lot of. Yeah, so it's very experimental. It's very different, and
but
Jamie,
it got a lot of a good feed. I mean, it's got a lot of feedback. A lot of people have talked
I
about
like
it,
it.
so that's important right there.
Yeah.
So I
I thought it was one of the
congratulations.
best. It's definitely one of the best films I saw last year. I think it was like 15th of the films that I watched last year. I really enjoyed it a
I
lot.
heard
I
it's
mean,
one of those films because I haven't finished it yet. You either love it or you hate it. There's no in between on it.
no, there's no in between. There's
Yeah,
no.
but
I,
I
I
know there's a lot of my friends like yourself have supported it and really appreciate
what
what they did.
what
So I
made
got
me
to finish
laugh.
it.
What made me laugh is like I'm watching the movie. I'm watching this, and I mentioned this before, but it just makes me laugh. But I'm watching this movie and going like, man, this is so David Lynch, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, Jamie Hart is our resident David Lynch expert here in our community. And I'm thinking, I wonder what she thinks of it. I can't wait to ask her. What did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think? She hated it.
Oh, really? Well, you're gonna
I
get
was like,
that with that
I was
movie,
like,
though. That
I
movie,
was,
that movie is set up like that. I mean, it's it's one of those movies where you're either gonna get it, it seems, or you don't. And if you don't, there's no in between. There just is
no,
no
I,
in between.
I
It's like
tried,
a Rob Zombie movie.
I
I've never
tried
met
telling
somebody
people.
who's like, I kind of like it. I like it or I hate it. There's no in betweens.
Well, I think with experimental films, what happens is a lot of those experimental films, they always end sort of like up in the air and they're ambiguous. You don't know what the ending is. You don't know what they're trying to say. And with Skidder Moran, it's like it is a complete story. It's a complete film. It's the beginning, the middle, and the end. You're not going to come away going like, "What did I just watch?" You're going to come away with, "Okay, so like how did that happen? How what was the point of it?" I mean, because you got the complete film, and that's what's really important to me. It's like you got the complete story.
Yeah.
It may not be the movie that you think it is or want it to be, but it is complete. Um,
Yeah.
but and now, when you guys go out, I mean, when you go out on the conventions and what have you, now are you starting to see filmmakers come up to you and starting to like, hey, we see that, we see the Doomsday Crypt, you and Brett. How do I get on your show? Or could you watch this movie and tell us what you think of it? Are you starting to see a lot of
Well,
people
I,
come up
I
to
have, and I don't on my channel. I don't like doing film reviews because when you become friends with people, I don't, I don't want to say it's biased, but I guess I'm too. I can't just be like, man, your movie's just terrible. Like, I watched one and it was, I loved the guy. I just wasn't a fan, so that's why I just
Mhm.
stay away from reviews. I come to
I,
support
I
and
I'm
let people make their
I'm
own
sort of holding my
decisions.
breath. I'm sort of holding my breath right now about that because I interviewed a director. He came out with his first film, and I like him. I like him a lot. I reviewed his film. I didn't like his film a lot. I mean, I liked some elements of it, but overall, it's just like, And he's got a new movie coming out pretty soon, and I'm really wondering what will happen when I come up to him and say, "Would you like to come on and watch the show?" Because I don't know why. I think there's half of me is expecting him to go like, "Uh-uh." I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling. I think when he saw my review, I think I don't think he's gonna come back. But
What's funny is now that you're speaking to me and you were asking me about like filmmakers and this and that, I'm reaching out. I just got a message from one convention and I saw that I posted Aaron and S and Steve are coming on and they're possibly thinking about bringing them in. So I just saw that message. So I'll look into that after for them. So, hey, if we can get some of these indie filmmakers into the conventions, a lot of these conventions are big supporters of the indie films, which is one of the things I really love about conventions. So whether it's Scarefest or Crypticon or any of these shows, it seems like they're all big into Carolina Fear Fest is another one. They're big into the indie films. Like Matt Burns is always creating stuff out
yeah,
there
I
in
just I
Carolina.
love indie.
So
I I was
it,
sitting in the chat of another panel show, and they were talking about all these big films, and I'm sitting there going, I'm throwing up all these small ones,
yeah,
and they're all going like, I haven't heard that one, I haven't heard that, like they're talking about that movie Abigail that's coming out, right?
yeah,
But they're going like, oh, Abigail, and I'm going like, yeah, but there was a movie that had a similar premise to that called House of Salem. That movie is banging. It was just
yeah.
like it was one of my first Wild Eye movies I ever reviewed, and I'm going like, man, if you want to see something cool like that, and you
You
don't
know
want
what's funny is that shit
to know
gets
the
ripped off
ending.
all the time. I became friends with Mick Strawn, who was the productions designer on part three. Actually, I hadn't talked to him. He went to uh, not Scarefest, Phantasm with me one year with Nick Benson, and they both worked on the Nightmare thing. And there's a movie called what is it called? Dead Heat with Joe Piscopo and
I
stuff.
remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good movie.
yeah,
That is basically Friday the 13th Part 8.
got what?
That is basically Friday the 13th Part 8.
Oh, oh, okay.
So because they even said they joked with the director, they're like, "Oh, you're taking our ideas now," but that's how the film companies do it. It was under the same company, and they kind of just reworked some of the script. I'm not saying, but that's what they told me too, and they always bust on them about it. But so
Yeah,
basically, Dead Heat is in a
Friday.
sense Friday 13th Part 8. A
That's
lot of
interesting.
similarities.
I see. I always thought Red Heat when I heard Dead Heat when I heard about that. The first thing I could think of was R.I.P.D.
Such a good fun. It's a fun film. If you guys haven't seen Dead Heat, not Joe. Is it Joe Piscopo? I always
Yeah,
forget his name.
yeah,
Yeah,
Joe Piscopo,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
want to say Treat Williams.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. It was a lot of fun. So check that out if you guys haven't had a chance to see it. It's a good one. It's a fun one.
Yeah, Joe Piscopo. He just really he never really got the chance to really shine too much.
No, he's good too. I think I
He
appreciate
was
him more than back in the. I think he just had a different look, and people just it just didn't grasp people back in the 80s. But he was
him
talented
and
too.
Eddie Murphy. I always said that him and Eddie Murphy saved Saturday Night Live
Oh yeah.
back in the dark days.
Oh,
It was Joe
absolutely.
Piscopo Joe Piscopo and Eddie Murphy saved that show.
Yeah.
They don't get the credit for it, but they
No.
did.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. They were fantastic.
Snow is mentioning that she is dropping her new album this Friday. Lovecraft's
Yeah.
super dark, evil soundscapes and musical horror that tell an eldritch story. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that.
Very cool.
Yes. Now, is that going to be on strictly on Spotify, Snow? Or are you going to be making? Are you going to be making? Are you going to burn off a few copies of it on disc for sale? Steven says he loved Joe and Sidekicks. Yeah, yeah, he was great in that. With the late
Chuck.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a classic. I forgot he was in that one.
yeah, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a fun
Uh,
movie.
on my Bandcamp right now. Okay. Alicia Shepherd. Yeah, I definitely gonna have Snow come on. I will talk to you on Instagram as soon as I get done here, Snow, and we'll set up a date. I'll book you in right now. I gotta get her in. I want to get her in.
I have the same problem. That's why I've been increasing shows because a lot of people want to come on DK and the B or DK and the Swag. And with the shows being limited because those two are so busy, especially Beatrice, I've fallen so behind. And it's like, listen, I know you'd like to, but you can come on with me and we can discuss the films and, hopefully down the road. Because I don't want to keep people waiting. And then I feel bad about that. It's
Yeah,
just impossible to keep up.
it is, and thing is, though, it's like I worked very hard on making sure that I try to stay within my 3 days.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have to venture out. Like I have Corin Nemec coming in on February
Oh,
9th.
really? Yeah, I saw I'm friends with him on Facebook too. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's
That's a
gonna be a
good
lot.
score
That's
on a
gonna be a
guest.
lot of fun. It's gonna be a
Parker
lot.
Lewis can't lose, man.
Man, I'm excited. I
He's
watched all his, I watched him
he's
in.
out in Florida working on films out there. He moved from California out to Florida. I saw that, and then it was like, all right, I'll send him a friend's request.
Yeah. No,
Nice
he's
score on
a
a guest,
super
though.
nice,
That's really cool, man.
super nice guy. Oh my gosh,
Seems it.
it's gonna be a really it's gonna be a lovely.
I'll definitely be in the chat for that one.
Do you see Gareth from Video
Johnny
Taste?
Dangerously, yes, I love that movie. Back, what was it, 83? I
That
watched
was
that when I was
hilarious.
a kid. That was so funny. What, you gonna
Michael
hump your
Keaton,
brains out. Boom, baba, boom, baba,
Michael
boom.
Keaton and Mary Lou Henner. Yeah, awesome. I was gonna say, yeah, I can't wait to get him out here and on the show. He's a lovely person to talk to. Um,
That's really cool. I was like,
yeah,
I ain't gonna message this guy. No way he'll respond, but that's awesome. You've been able to connect with them because I think
um,
I was a
yeah,
fan. Like he was fair when they had the shows. Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Ferris Bueller's TV series came out, and Parker Lewis was more of a Ferris Bueller movie or show than Ferris Bueller show was. So
yeah, and knocked him off
it
the
took
air
off.
too.
Had what, a 3-4 year run?
3 years.
3 years, yeah. It
3 years.
seemed longer back then. It seemed longer, but it was high school years for me, so everything seemed longer.
Right, right. Well, I was going to mention something else too. Gareth from Video Tasties, he's got himself Neil Marshall coming
Oh,
on
nice.
the 12th. On the
Oh,
12th too. That's why you're doing your show on the 12th.
yeah, that's going to
And
be a later show. It's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
okay.
7 p.m.
Yeah, he's
So
going to be. I think his show starts here. I think his show starts here like around 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. Because he's in the UK.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so
that's like 6 hours difference from me. So
right.
yeah, that's the tough part. Like, luckily, I'm in the central. Like, Beatrice is on the East Coast, Ken's on the West Coast. So you got 3 hours difference right there, and trying to balance it out because Ken's
Yeah.
working on a play he'll talk about, and Beatrice is acting and shooting and doing conventions. Like, she just did a Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 reunion with a bunch of the cast at a convention, and that looked cool. So yeah,
It does seem like these movies are just it's something else. It's like it's increasing, and it's amazing how horror just increases exponentially every year. It gets more and more popular every year.
I
But
think it's
man,
more popular than it's ever been.
but at the same time, it's like when you miss out, when you make a movie and you miss with it, man, it gets buried so bad. Like no one will give it a chance. Like I still have not seen Exorcist Believers yet.
Yeah, I heard it was really a rough watch. I heard it starts off good, so I've just been real hesitant on it. So
It's just like and what it is. It's like people are coming out on the trade magazines and they're burying these movies after the first weekend. They're not even giving them a chance to breathe. And it's
well,
like
horror is one of those things. No matter what, it's going to get a bad review by critics. I mean, for the most part, it's going to get a bad review.
I'm just glad that people are actually staying in it, going like, I'm not going to be influenced by that. I'm going to go see it for myself. And then, that's what's been happening. There's been a lot of good movies out there that are good movies that people are finding, and they're not paying attention to the naysayers. I think people are tired of hearing all the negativity.
Yeah,
Myself.
I mean, that's why I said I try not to bash films. If I don't like something, I have always kind of been like, but that's my opinion, so I don't need to be spewing that. If I enjoy something, I'll let somebody know. But I'm no movie critic. I know what I like, and everybody's taste is different. So I don't like to do that. I don't like to bury a film because I don't like it or I like it, and my opinion has no opinion on somebody else's opinion. So.
I mean, well, you never know. Say the truth.
Well, I want people to form their own judgment.
You'd be surprised by how much people listen to you, John.
Well, that's why I like to say, go into a movie and let me know what you think, and I can discuss that, without giving it an overall view. I can agree with that. I really like this about the movie, and yeah, I wish they executed that better, but I'm not gonna be like it's an 8 out of 10 unless it's Halloween Ends, because that got a 1 out of a negative 10. Halloween Ends got a rating. But Elm Street box set, I haven't heard anything on it. I got like the 8-disc collection, but I think I even got it out here. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, Hobbs is saying that we need an Elm Street box set stat. I wish Screen Factory would do that. Screen Factory should do an Elm Street. They did such a nice job with the Friday the 13th box set. For the most part, I would love to see that myself.
I couldn't find it, but yeah, there's like a one that comes with Freddy versus Jason. It's like an 8, but it's not a box set. I know what you mean, like a steel book. I agree. They should definitely do it with a lot of. I'd love to see some behind the scenes on it, because even on the collection, there's some behind the scenes, but not much. And I can imagine there's some really, really cool stuff they could find in the old archives and let the fans experience it.
Snow, I'm gonna let you do that. Hold on here. You can go ahead and drop your link down if you want to. What the hell?
Oh, but we do plan a big giveaway too when Ken comes on. So make sure you tune in so you can get yourself on the wheel. We're going to probably do like 3 really, really cool prizes. So there might be like 3 prizes for everybody.
3? Okay.
Yeah. I know we're going to do his comic. We'll probably do like a Beatrice book, and I'll probably do a DK and the Bees Horror Buzz video cassette. We'll sign it.
Yeah, you guys do great contests.
Yeah, it'll be something fun. It'll be some cool collectibles.
And you're going to have James Shaver come back on?
James Shaver, I'm gonna bring. Actually, he's coming on next week because he's coming to Carolina Fear Fest with me.
Dude, that guy, that was. Yeah, I still get comments about him. I need to bring him back too. He was sensational. I really enjoy talking to him.
If you want, if I have him next week and you're around, I'll let you know when you can come on and join us.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah. I want to know. I wonder if he still has his big Jaws mask, that jaw piece he has of the shark.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing was sick. Oh my gosh, that thing was so cool. I'm just thinking,
he's a talented guy. He's really talented. I just bought the Freddy Krueger hawk. I don't have it yet, but a hockey mask type deal, hawk. But he did it with Freddy's skin. It looks all textured. So I'm gonna bring it to Chicago and see if I can get like the Nightmare 3 cast there, because the landing camp's gonna be there. Ken's gonna be there. And a lot of the cast. So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. What time's the show? It is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
What day?
Next week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, Hobbs was asking what time the show's on the 12th.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I will definitely look for that.
Tomorrow night with Tom Matthews and tonight with Ann Myrna. They're both at 10:30.
Yeah, you got Tom Matthews. That's really cool, because I heard that.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, he's rather shy. He doesn't really do a lot of interviews.
No, he doesn't. But him and like I said, when you're friends with the big swag,
Oh
there ain't no saying no to swag.
no, no,
He's
yeah,
been at
you're
too
not
many
saying you're not saying
conventions with swag. He can't run away.
who in their right mind is going to say
You,
no to Leatherface,
you
right?
can't escape Leatherface. You can't.
Hey, wait a minute. Why are you knocking on my door? I thought you were lost, but I'm found now. Oh, okay, I'll do the show.
He'll drag Tom, throw him on his shoulder, slam
Oh
that
my
door.
God, that's a yeah. Because I heard that Tom is really was I heard that he was really didn't do a lot of interviews and whatnot, and
He's a laid back dude, but he's super nice. Like he always walked up to our tables and he remembered me when I saw him. And Doug Tate were standing next to you. It was cool. It's a guy that I'm a big fan of. For hey, how you doing? Good to see you again. Because he saw me last month. I mean, I saw him like 3-4 times in 2022. I didn't see him at all last year. And Brett's been on the road with them. I mean, I think he's got like 15 damn conventions with them coming up. I know he's at Kansas City with them. I think Tom's at Kansas City, but I'm not 100% sure.
The professor walked in there. Hello, professor. How are you? Steven's mentioning Carolyn Williams. Man, that's a name I have not heard. I have not heard anybody having a Carolyn Williams sighting in a couple of years.
That reminds me. Hold on a sec. You gotta like this because I'd love that because she is actually missing.
Have you heard her? Have you heard or seen anything from her?
I haven't. I know she was at an event not that long ago, but we got the KOKLA.
I know that they're. I know they're doing a big promo on the Sharknado movie, so I thought she would be popping up again since she was in one.
Very cool.
Very that'll be. Carol. Yeah, she'd be interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
I got this question yesterday. I got this question from another podcast yesterday. Man, if you get a chance to interview somebody who would you ever interview anybody you personally didn't like, but you thought would be a good show?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, are you asking like, well, I've kind of seen their personality, but I don't know them. I wouldn't do it. But if it's somebody who's been incredibly rude to me, like I've learned this. Let me put it this way. It's just like with anybody on my tables. If I don't like you personally, your character, I don't want to say anything bad about you, but I'm also don't want to be talking about you or giving you any sort of promotion. I'm not into the battles. I'm sure there's people that don't like me, and that's fine. But one of the things is that doesn't matter, but I'm not going to promote somebody if I don't like them. If there's something that around about their personality, I just can't do. Like, if they have a history of predatory nature or something like that, like one convention I know has been getting a lot of slack because Kevin Spacey's coming in. There's just certain people that personally, morally, I couldn't do.
Because someone asked yesterday, someone asked another podcaster, they asked if they got a chance to interview Alex Jones, would they do it?
I would. I have no problem with that.
You know what I said?
I don't do the politics though either. I'm not into the political stuff, but I don't know. He's one of those controversial. I don't want to divide my fan base. I don't care if it's right. I don't care if it's left. I avoid any politics as far as Doomsday's Krypt goes. It's about bringing everybody together. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I've learned one thing at conventions because I know people personally. I know what their politics are. And I go to a convention and we don't have those politic problems. We don't have to sit there and talk about this or that or this or that. I'm here for horror. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to talk scary. I'm not here to discuss, other things that just really don't ultimately matter in what I'm doing. I've had people that come on that I know are political. I'm like, you don't do politics.
I didn't get mad, but I was sitting there because it was a really good question. It's a legitimately good question, and I thought about it and went, man, I'm going like, damn it to hell.
I have no problem debating somebody.
I hate Alex Jones. I hate Alex Jones with a passion, but by God, if someone offered me a chance to talk to him, I would.
Well, like I
I
said,
would.
there's certain things like a
Yeah.
predatory nature where somebody's got, like using Kevin Spacey. Now, Alex Jones is controversial. I know that, you know that. But to me, if I was doing a political type show, I know you have your politics, which, everybody does.
Sure.
But I think for somebody to speak with, I think it's good to have open discussions for people, whether the left or right, and try to at least discuss things instead of not, bring your facts, dispute it, debate it. I have no problem with healthy debates. Now, do I want it on my show? Nah. But other people's shows, I think it's healthy. I think it's better than just not giving somebody a voice or not giving yourself a voice to respond to some of the things they do, whether you
Uh,
like it or don't.
the professor, Hobbs just said that he just reviewed Blood Feast with Carolyn Williams, Sadie Katz,
Oh,
and Olivia Munn.
nice.
Professor wants to know if Cameo is still a thing. Cameo is still very active.
It
Very
is.
active, yes. Very, yeah, very popular. Um, Says was wondering if I could get a shout out from people I don't think I'll ever get to see. Yeah, be prepared to pay some money for that. Um,
You'd be surprised though. Some of them are doing it like 40 or $60 or something. And it's
I'm
it goes a long way.
Hobbs
And it
mentioned
helps them out too. You got to
uh,
remember a lot of these people, you think actors, billions of dollars, but not everybody makes Tom
no,
Cruise
no,
money.
not everybody. No, I
So
think I've always said people would be shocked to find out exactly how much money they don't have.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. So like supporting them with a cameo, it's helping support somebody who's giving you, like, if you're a fan of theirs, to me, it's a good investment to support back. Now, I
so,
don't care about throwing millionaires and billionaires a ton of money, but an actor that I was a fan of, that I watched growing up, that is I'll use Danny Hassel. The dude's a blue collar guy now. He served in the armed services. Um, he's a normal guy. Acting he still does and he still dabbles in it, but he's more than just an actor. So there's a
right.
lot, like with a lot of these 80s people, you'll see him at a convention. The next thing you know, they're out there in their 9 to 5 job Monday
I
through
see some
Friday.
of these working regular jobs. I see some of them.
Yeah.
There's some out there. I mean, I know one guy out there. He's pretty successful at it too. But he was an actor on a very well known show. But he sells real estate,
Yeah.
and he's very good at it. I mean, he's really good at it,
Yeah.
and he sells real estate. But he still does cameos. He still wants to. He still enjoys saying hi to his fans. He's still. I'm
I
sure
forget who
someone
I
else.
spoke to that does construction, like remodels celebrities' homes, and got into it. Might be the same person we're talking about, making a killing doing it.
Oh yeah.
Making a killing.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, when I saw that on his cameo, I'm going like, "Oh, I never even knew about that, but that's really cool." And he's out there still, but he's still out there. He still has got his fan base. People are still, because you look and see what kind of response they get, kind of reviews they get, and he's got really great reviews. People are really impressed with that. With the effort he put into their videos. I mean, some of the videos are pretty awful. Some of the cameos, man, you pay that kind of money, you expect a little bit more than just,
Yeah, they'll
hey,
literally phone it in.
hey,
Yeah,
yo, it's like, have a good day. And it's like, that's it. That's all you got. It's
yeah,
like, damn, you asking $200 and all I
yeah,
got is 90 seconds.
yeah. But you'll get that from the ones with the big egos. The ones
Yeah.
who got it and don't look at that money as being, this is a hard earned money by somebody who doesn't make the kind of money I make.
No,
But there's
no,
different levels of people. There
no,
are guys who make sure. I know there's people out there that, like, if you get a cameo from me, I'm making sure you're getting everything and it's special for you and you're getting your money's worth. I'm not just
yeah,
going to be like,
who
hey,
knows, John? Who
Merry
knows?
Christmas.
Maybe by this time next year, that's exactly where you'll be at. I mean, there's people out there
I,
like I see the cameos at, and they're people that you wouldn't even think about having cameos, but they
I'll
do.
start paying people to get my cameos.
Yeah.
I'll do it the reverse way. $20. I'll give you a cameo. Here, take my
Oh,
money.
that would be, but I mean, to me, it's like, if you want to, and I was commenting on this earlier, it's like, here we go, here we are, we got people like this, like Michael Bailey Smith coming in, or James Shaver coming in, or what, and then, Gareth got Neil Marshall coming in, and, uh, and here we are, we got the chance to ask these actors and directors,
Yeah.
watch them live, watch them being interviewed live. You get to ask them a question, a couple questions. You could actually, that's there for posterity. You could clip and save it, like, hey, I got, I asked this, I asked this question. And I'm thinking to myself, going like, here you go. You don't have to go and pay. And I know you probably won't like this, but you won't have to pay $80 to get inside a convention, and then another 150 for an autograph or a picture. I mean, now you can come here and get it for free, or you can go to a convention and say hi to John and Big
You know
Swag.
what's weird is I always insist on paying, and only because I don't know what it is. A lot of times they'll get, if it's somebody different, but I'm other than like my pieces here, or if I'm for my collection, and if I'm buying something, I want them to know, I want to pay for it on the collection.
Sure, of course.
And so those things, like those two pieces behind me, these two are not for sale. I mean, like those are my two icon pieces right there. I sold the third one, the Big John, Little John one. I couldn't turn it down. I still miss it, but these two aren't going anywhere. So that's kind of one of those things that stays.
A one-of-a-kind piece like that. Hi, Jamie. I get that. I get that. I wouldn't want to do that either. Everybody here in the chat, I'm sure they have Funko Pops. I'm sure they have some physical form of media that they did not want to get rid of or sell, or anything like that. I mean, they all have their stories behind it, right? I mean, it's funny. So you look at your movies that you have in your collection, and mostly everybody will tell you there's a story behind it. How did you find that? How did you get it? I got mine from the library. I got mine from a trade. I got this from the video store. I got this sent to me. Someone gifted it to me. There's always something behind an item that you own, and there's something to be said for that.
James Jude Courtney. I got the Heather Langenkamp I had out last night too. We got a Freddy on these machetes, black light too. I just happened to see it on there.
Is that a prop machete, or do they?
It's actually. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Mike's like, it's not. It's a prop. It's like, Mike, this shit is sharp. I'm telling you, if it's a real machete, and if you hit somebody with it,
they're going to.
Yeah, you're going to do some time. So I don't recommend using it as a weapon, unless in self-defense.
Haas mentioned he's got an autograph from Jennifer Rubin. Yeah, see. I got autographs from Crispin Glover. Yeah, that's I totally get
Crispin Glover. Nice.
Yeah,
he seems like a character, but he seems like he'd be kind of fun. Just
he is kind of fun. It's the very first show I ever booked at the Edge in Palo Alto.
You ever hear the Question song by the guy who played Biff?
Yes. Yeah, Tom Wilson. Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. I heard that. I was just like,
well, it's Crispin Glover, like unusual.
You still talk to him? No, I don't. Yeah, he's amazing.
That's such a funny song. I'd love to interview that guy. That would be fun.
Oh, Tom Wilson, yes. Yeah. But the trick would be, though, honest to God, the trick would be to talk to him without bringing up Back to the Future.
Yeah.
See if you could do it.
Oh, I would. I'd ask him every question in his song.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
what does a producer do?
You know what's funny? I talked to somebody recently, and I was, for a show, and I was saying, like, listen, I was just wondering if, are there any questions that you don't want asked because they've been asked the dinosaur dust, right? Like, there's so, they've heard those questions 10,000 times plus over, right? So you don't want to be that interviewer is asking the same question.
I almost never talk with the actors about their movies. I think they genuinely appreciate it. Like, I'll just talk to them like we're talking now.
Yeah,
it goes a long way. Like, it really doesn't matter. You know who's really cool I met and seemed to get along great? I'd love to get on is Robert Mukes. That dude is a monster. Jesus,
I've heard of that guy.
Dude.
You know who I like to get on?
Really cool.
Speaking of, yeah, we're all collectors here. That's right. We are. I even sent Jamie a note. I'm saying, Jamie, you want to make a trade? And now I have to say, now I have to put together a trade. I'm going to put together a fat ass.
It's never easy, man. It's never.
I don't know what to give her. I'm trying to in my head. Like, what can I give Jamie Hart that she doesn't already have? But whatever it is, I'm going to stack it up big, like, with a trade package. Like, yeah, I'm going to put a couple of future draft choices in there or something, because I'm after one of her movies. Um, but but I was asking this person. I says, "Is there any questions that you don't want to ask? Because some of the questions you've been asked a dinosaur does, right?" And and he goes, "No, not really. No, no, because you know what? Because every some of those same questions that I've been asked before, they might be being asked by somebody new to me, someone who doesn't know me, doesn't really know my work. So it's constantly moving like a river. It's like it's flowing. It's like yes, people like my ourselves. Yes, we might expect to hear the same questions and the same answers because we've been around. But what happens if there's a young fan at like 12 or 13 or 14 or just getting into horror or getting into the movies, and they want to ask me the same question because they don't know it.
Yeah.
If I sit there and say, "Well, I don't want her to answer that because I already answered that 10,000 times," then they'll never get the answer because they weren't around to ask it back then. And after they explained it to me, I'm going like, I'm so happy
Yeah.
because I
You
have.
know what? And it's smart because it's a horror, especially in film in general. It's a generational thing when it comes to
Mhm.
things. Fathers and sons and horror movies, or their kids, daughters. It doesn't matter. Like it, even for us, where my parents weren't super horror, but when we were doing like Psycho Night or something like that, or going to Gremlins in the movie theater, it became great memories, and it's great. I can imagine that they understand it, a lot of them. Some of them don't. There's some that don't want to talk about any of that stuff. It's like, then why are you here? I mean, you got to remember too, if you're going to a convention or something, you want people are going to be interested. So you always, if you're doing an interview, you want to at least touch base on things and then move to their next project. Like
Right,
say
right.
Ken's coming on. We got to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4. We
Yeah,
have to.
you have to.
There's no way around it. But I also want to be talking about what he's into, like his new comic Socrates,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and what
See,
he's doing.
to me, that's what's more exciting for me is like, yes, I know that he did Nightmare on Elm Street, and he knows it because he lived it.
Yeah.
But believe me, when you come back to, I found this to be true. When you come back and you talk to the talk to the artist, and you don't bring up that one thing that everybody's talked to, they do like me and Hobbs knows this. Hobbs knows this. We interviewed Courtney Gain. We interviewed Courtnney Gaines on was one of our first interviews. It was our 10th show. It was our 10th show. We were supposed to get like 35 minutes with Courtney Gaines. That's what the PR person gave us to. We talked to Courtney about everything under the sun, but what he expected us to. We started talking to music.
Yeah.
He was so involved with that. He stayed over an hour with us. He
Those
said,
are
"This is
fun.
a
I've
great
had that happen too, where they're
yeah."
like, "Oh, I only got about maybe 15, 20 minutes." And an hour later, you're almost shutting down the show and that's always a great feeling. So
Yeah, I
congratulations.
mean, he said that, "Man, no one's ever talked to me. No one ever talks to me about my music." And we're sitting there talking to him about it, and he was just so digging that. And it was like so much fun. And it
Let's,
wasn't because we were talking about the same old.
let's
We're trying to
yeah,
break out of that.
like me and Brett had Walter Phelan, Dr. Satan on. We talked a little bit about that, but we talked about his music because that's his big thing. His big passion is his
Yeah,
music.
I
And
bet
he's
he
an
loved it.
incredibly talented drummer, Walter Phelan. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, Dr. Satan, real nice guy. I met him in Massachusetts, so it's cool having him on the show. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I even tell some people, it's like, you were great in this role, but it doesn't define you. Even people I'm
Oh
friends with,
yeah,
I go, I see bigger things for you. I see this as something that you always have, but I still see more for you. I still see your best role coming.
yes.
I want them to see that because there's a lot of them out there that I know if they get that chance, they're going to crush.
You just don't really. I just hate pigeonholing people because I don't know how many times I went to a convention and I would see I've been to maybe like 20 conventions and I saw a lot of the same people there, and they're always being publicized for the same role they did over and over and over. And I'm like, man, there's so much more to them than that. You go to the movie database page, there's that one movie they did, that one role, but then there's 50 other movies that they've done and nobody ever talks to them about that. If you walked up there and said, "So I want to talk to you about Cat Food Jones," what the hell? Nobody ever talks to me about that. What do you want to know, brother? And then you sit down and talk. I mean, they dig that. They and you know what, man, you can have a really good conversation too. You can have a really great conversation. Um,
Tom
Hey,
Wilson was great in
how are you?
Freaks and Geeks as well. And yes, Dr. Satan from A House, a Thousand Corpses, and Hobbs. Yes, I was saying to Patrick, I got to catch up. I've been slacking myself, so no need to apologize. I mean, we all get busy in life, and it's hard to keep up with everybody's shows. Sorry,
Okay.
Patrick. I wanted to get those out of the way.
Okay. So everybody knows. Let's see. Yes, Professor. The trade is for a copy, a haunting of Molly Hartley. That's the one I'm looking for. That's what I'm going to be trading Jamie for. I'm looking for that like a fiend. Like when I asked
Wheeling and dealing.
Richard Stanley and Lemmy. When I asked Richard Stanley about Lemmy, he was still gracious, even though he had answered that. Yes, Richard Stanley was very, very gracious. Very cool. That's a very good question too. He really liked your question too. I mean, he was very pleasant about it too, Dan. Let's see.
We got Grogu. This is the way. This is the way.
Molly Hartley. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I'm looking for. Leanne Curtis is a Facebook friend. She was in Quitters too. That's a fun movie. That's a hell of a fun movie. I'm still hunting for the sequel, The Exorcism of Molly Hartley. I have not seen that one, but I think the cast is different on that one. Yes, I can tell you for sure. Haley Bennett is not in that one. Let's see. Was Dr. Satan in A House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yes. That Dr. Satan, Walter Phelan. Yep. And they actually shot scenes, and you can find the deleted scenes for the sequel. I don't know why can't I think of Devil's Rejects? So there is a scene he did shoot for it, but it never got in the movie.
Let's see. Cameron Caveman mentions Tom Wilson was great in Big Love for three shows. Yeah, that's a series I look for when I go to the library. Even though
he was great in Freaks and Geeks too. He was the coach in that one. That was a good show that ended real soon. I mean, that was
1 year.
Yeah. It had a great cast though.
But today's youth would know his SpongeBob voices. Yep. See, Gorgo of baseball cards. Welcome. Greetings. I didn't know that either, Jamie, until the professor told me. I didn't know that Molly Hartley had a sequel. I know that The Last Exorcism and then The Last Exorcism Part 2. I know those two, but I didn't know that Molly Hartley got two. But I know that Haley Bennett is not in the second one. I know she's in the first one though.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Gotta love it. Me and Brett were by Bob Elmore at Monster Expo. Bob Elmore was really cool. He signed that. We got Bob Elmore. We got Bill Moseley.
And we got now when is the store going up? Because we got a little bit of people in the chat here.
The store, I wanted to get open earlier. I'm opening a physical store and the online store, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be easier after March or launch right around March when I go to Days of the Dead Chicago, because it being winter now. When I do get the store, there's going to be some work to be done in it to get it ready to be open. I'm hoping the online store soon though. I really want to get it open by March or April and launch it at the right time, but I want to do it the right way. I want to have a really cool launch where we got some really cool deals, some really good merch, some cool products, and from all the talented people you see in the community. So yeah, we'll get it going.
Yeah. See, let me do this real quick. So here is case of some new people here don't know John's channel. Here it is right here. Here's John's channel right here. Let me do a little bit better. I keep on forgetting not to do that. I'm supposed to put in a video, not necessarily the whole page. So here is a little clip of DK and the B. And if you haven't subscribed to John's channel, highly recommend it. It's extremely entertaining. He does awesome interviews. His live chat is on fire, especially if you're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, that's probably the best way for people to see your live interviews.
I'd say.
Yeah. So if you have a Facebook and you want to go over there, I have not been able to develop that yet.
But you do it. You're better on YouTube. You're killing it on YouTube way better than me. But you got great people that come to the chat. I mean, there'll be people there and nobody says nothing too. So that's it's really not the numbers, it's the amount of interaction. We get good interaction, don't get me wrong. But that's honestly, Like your chat's great. I've enjoyed your chat all day. I always enjoy my chat. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter if it's 200 or 20 or 10 or 5. I've done all those. We've all done those shows, and
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
really about.
I'm just impressed. I mean, and your channel just blew up. I mean, you just passed 3,000.
Yeah,
You
that kind of caught me by surprise because, like you said, I don't want to say I don't pay attention to YouTube, but I'm more active on the Facebook in a sense.
right, right.
So
But your season's going to be kicking off soon.
yeah.
John is going to be around in various conventions. Let's see. Jamie says that she was shocked to find that you weren't subbed to Doomsday.
Oh, thank you, Jamie.
I'm sure. Yeah, if you haven't
I'll have to
subbed,
get
then
Jamie
double
on the
check.
show sometime. I know how much you love her, and I'm a fan.
Yeah, Jamie's awesome. Jamie's awesome. And it's funny because now when she watches the replay, she'll hear our Skinner story again. Still makes
I
me
know.
laugh.
I'm looking forward to.
Still
I'm
makes me
definitely going to
laugh.
tune in for that show.
I
Like I
I
said, I still got to finish it, and now that Jamie's here, now I gotta make sure I watch it before. Once I'm done with you, I'm gonna go finish Skinamarink.
Yeah,
It's almost
they
my
go ask
job. It's
Jamie
so
about it.
hard to pay attention because
Yeah,
I'm at work so much. It's a movie I got to focus on, and the guys are at work. So after I'm done with you, I'm gonna go
yeah,
upstairs.
and then as soon as you get done watching it, then go over there and hang out with her and ask her, well, what do you think? And then of course, that'll be. It's okay. We love you, Jamie. I know it. Like I said, though. Have
She
you ever?
wasn't in it. She just didn't like the movie. That's
Let
right.
me
You
ask,
had mentioned she didn't like the movie.
let me ask the chat this too, and you at the same time. Let me ask you guys this question. This is a burning question. Have you guys ever watched the movie and thought about a member of the community who you wanted to talk about the movie with? Like with me, it was Skinner Morenik. Like I wanted to talk to Jamie about it because I thought, wow, this is so this is so this is so David Lynch, right? So I want to talk to have you ever watched a movie where you watched it and like, man, I really like to see what Doomsday thinks about this, or I
Well,
want to
yeah,
see what.
I think it's good when I know, what's fun is if I know it's a movie, and not so much indie movies, but say a movie that I love, like you said, and something that somebody hates, where it's not just sitting there agreeing on every topic, where it's kind of good when you got different sides of the spectrum discussing
I
a movie.
I
Those
was
are
I'm
fun.
curious. Like if I
Yeah.
watch something like if I watch like a slasher movie, like I'll tell you the truth, we watched a movie last Sunday called Crow's Nest on the ISC Midnight, and man, John, they have a brutal kill. They have a
Oh,
freaking
nice.
brutal. I
I'll
mean, it's
check
like
that out. Send me some links to some things you want me to check out too, because like I
I,
said,
w-
I
I,
got
I would love to ask someone like Brett Wagner. Like, I'd like to see. I like for him to see the scene.
yeah.
And I'd like to see, like, what did you think about that, Brett? Because when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, man, this is like I mentioned, like the kill. It's like on the level of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's up there. It's like you can put that kill in Texas Chainsaw Massacre and not skip
It'll
a
fit
beat.
right in.
It's like that brutal. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I wonder what people would think about that. Would people look at that and like, holy shit, that's all, like that's awesome. God,
Yeah.
our community's twisted, right? But they'll
Well,
sit there.
it's weird. Like you said, I mean, it's one of those things when you have somebody who's got it's like, what did you like? It's like, something that you couldn't relate to and they loved about it, or vice versa. So it makes good conversations. It makes
Yeah,
good
it
shows.
was the only, the Skinnamarink was the only, it was like and Southbound. When I watched Southbound, the same thing happened. I'm going like, man, this is so cool. I wonder what Jamie thinks about it because it's a movie that I think that she could relate to. If it's a creature feature, if it's a Godzilla movie, immediately I want to know what Casey thinks about it. I want to know what Hobbs thinks about it because they're the guys I know that love kaiju movies. Mr. Bones. I want to know what they all think about it. It's like, what do you guys think about that Godzilla movie? Um, and it's like it's people within our own community that whose voices you respect. It's like, and you want to go out there and say, "Did you see that? And what did you think about it?" And it's like, and then you get back, and it's entertaining to see what they say. Sometimes they haven't seen it yet. Sometimes
You-
they haven't seen the movie, but then, or you tell them about it and say, "Oh yeah, you'll dig this movie." Like I've been on, to me, I've been on the House of Salem tips for the last 10 days because everybody's been talking about that Abigail movie, and I've been telling everybody I know, like, man, if you want to see a movie something like, with the same sort of twist without having the story being given away, watch House of Salem. It's on Tubi. It's on
yeah,
Tubi. it's
Well,
a
anything to do with Salem, I'm gonna watch, especially being from
oh,
Massachusetts and stuff.
so the ending is so cool. The ending is so cool.
I'll definitely check it out.
I,
You know what was a fun show that we did one time, and it was before even it was when I first became friends with Brett. We did a discussion of all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres,
nice.
including his. So that was a lot of fun because there's so many and there's so much to discuss with
Now,
them.
his is the one with Jessica Biel, right?
Yeah, his was 03. You'll see Brett. He slams the door, and you see him hit Kemper with the hammer.
I had that copy. I'm gonna have to review that.
Yeah, we did. He wound up selling. Jesse Aaron's another talented mask maker. I can't remember who made the mold, but Brett had never had a Kemper mask, the Kemper face. So I had one of those made. So it was pretty cool, and he wound up selling it. So somebody owns the #1 Kemper signed Brett Wagner mask right now.
Everybody signed up to you, John. Steven just
I appreciate it. I appreciate that, guys. I'll follow you guys back. Make sure you leave a comment.
Yes, please leave a comment.
Like I said, I got a mushy brain. There's just always something on my mind. I think it's the OCD and constant, thinking about something else that I just can't retain anything. Something comes in and something leaves. It's the old Kelly Bundy effect, I think.
Caveman says, no offense, Doomsday, but you resemble the Vegas car maker from Counting Cars. That's
great. I love Counting Cars.
I actually watched that show.
Yeah.
I actually thought that show was pretty cool.
I love it. Well, one of my guys is a big car guy, so we watch Counting Cars a lot. So I think those dudes are cool. So
yeah, I love the enthusiasm that they had.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
All right, boys and girls, we've been at it for over 2 hours. I know John's got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. We're going to be promoting tonight's show. Tonight's show is with Jamie Hill. See, Jamie to Jamie right here. Jamie Hill will be with us tonight. She was in the movie Grotesque, I'm Haunted, and of course the aforementioned Skinner Morenik. That will be at 8 o'clock Eastern time here on my channel. Next Monday, the 12th. 2 great shows next Monday. Neil Marshall on Video Tasties channel, and then you're going to come back with Ken Sagos on the 12th of February. Wow, that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Freddy Krueger's mom and Kincaid. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be reunited. It's gonna be. I'm sure that they've met each other before this.
They've met each other before. They know each other. Yeah.
So that will be going on tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be here with the cast and crew of Sea of Madness. That will be Mitch Lang. He's a great filmmaker from Louisiana. And then on Thursday, we have the mighty Mike Ferguson will be back. And if you've seen Mike Ferguson, you'll be here early. If you have not yet experienced Mike Ferguson, you definitely want to be there for that. Mike is a friend of the show, and he's a tremendous artist, and he has so many stories. That guy's a walking storybook. I mean,
awesome. Those are the best guests too.
Yes, they are. Yes,
you'll like Michael Bailey. He's one of those guys who has.
Can't wait for that. I really want that to happen because I really liked him.
I'll get it set up. But like I said, I just talked to Mike today on the phone.
You know, I watched the documentary for the Fantastic Four movie he did.
Yeah. That's good movie.
Man, that's you just your heart breaks from all.
The story is as good as the movie, and the movie wasn't as bad as people. It's generated a following of love.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Early conventions, that's what we look for. We used to look for bootlegs of the Roger Corman movie. Then one convention, the FBI raided it. They raided our convention, and they confiscated just tons of vendor stuff. And that was the last time I ever saw the Fantastic Four bootleg. I never saw it at any other convention anywhere after that. It was like people were like, "Oh, we can't do that."
Yeah, that's a rarity.
All right, boys and girls. John, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with us. Thank you to the chat for engaging, having fun on a snow day. I woke up to like 4 inches of snow outside. Thank you so much, Michigan. But hopefully we'll see you guys tonight at 8 o'clock. And until then, thanks for coming up, and we'll talk to you soon. Stay right where you're at for a minute, John.
Okay.
Peace.